Great. I guess you can see, am I muted? I guess you can see my screen now.
Yes, we can, Harry. I can see your screen. Go ahead, please. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, so we are all welcome to the training today. And thank you, Jibola, for the introduction. We're going to move on to, excuse me, just bring this here. We're going to move on to our presentation today. And we have a couple of agendas. Today we're going to talk about what business analysis is and what exactly is who a business analyst is. What do business analysts do, and common job titles for BAs, where is business analysis practice, why exactly do we have business analysis? So it's just the whole trying to understand exactly what is business analysis. And I can assure you that the bulk of you have practiced business analysis in one way or the other. You know, and that brings me to just before I start, a very important point to say that business analysis is not just a practice. Business analysis is a mindset. So by the time we're done with this training, you actually see yourself as a business analyst, because even the medical doctor practices business analysis. So it's not just the title. It is something, it's a mindset, it's a way that you think. When you see situations, understanding what the problem is and finding ways to provide solutions that give value. You see, that sentence I said now is just business analysis, and almost every profession, almost even the home, business analysis is practiced, you know, but we'll show you exactly that and also show you the business analyst in you. So the first thing is, what exactly is business analysis? You know, and business analysis is really about problem solving. It's about understanding problems or understanding organizational, business, personal needs, and performing certain activities. That's where you see the what, who, why, where, and how. And those activities help you to profile solutions to your stakeholders. And those solutions, as long as those solutions fix that business need or that organizational need or that departmental need, it means that yes, you are offering value. So business analysis is about creating value. And what is value? Value is an understanding of an organization's need and providing solutions that meet those needs. Now, and I'm sure even in your personal lives, you've had maybe issues or problems or needs, and you carry out some activities to do a deep dive. Why exactly is this happening? You know, you want to travel from one location to the other. That could be a need. And what is the fastest way for me to get to my destination? You know, how do I get there? Should I take a cab? Should I fly? You are doing some form of analysis, you know, so you are doing some form of analysis. It might be personal, but that is business analysis. The ability to look at a situation. It might also be an opportunity that your organization is trying to take advantage of an opportunity. And you feel that, okay, how best do we maximize this opportunity? What do we do to get maximum value, you know, and deliver on what we are supposed to deliver on? That is business analysis. In your home, you do business analysis. The doctor does business analysis. In your department, you do business analysis. If you are a student, even while you are studying, even while you are doing your assignments, there's a form of business analysis. But our task is to help you see that then also show you that set those activities that you unconsciously do as a BA, you know, there are certain terminologies to them. So I would, for lack of a better word, I would term you as, like us, most of us, as unconscious BAs. So we are BAs, but we are not conscious about it, you know. So, but we'll try and help you see, move you from unconscious BAs to conscious BAs, so you are fully aware of the business analysis activities that you do. So let's quickly move on from there. And who is a business analyst? A business analyst is any person that performs business analysis tasks described in the BABOK. What is the BABOK? The BABOK is the business analysis book of knowledge. And this is just a book that was written by an organization, an international organization called International Institute of Business Analysts, of Business Analysis. And it just covers everything you need. It's like a Bible, you know, it's like a Quran for business analysts. Everything that you need to know to perform your task for business analysis is in that book, is in that guide. Now, I want to point out something, like you can see on the screen. It does not matter your job title, you know, and that's why I'm saying it is a mindset. It is a way of thinking. It is certain kinds of skills that you have, you know. So take note of that. If you perform business analysis tasks according to some laid down principles, you are a BA regardless of your job title. And this is gotten from one of the surveys that was taken, the global business analysis survey that was taken. And you can see the various job titles that BAs have. Traditionally, BAs are called business analysts, but you could also be called a BA project manager. You could also be called an IT business analyst. And what is an IT business analyst? It's just a business analyst that works in IT. You know, you could be called a consultant. For instance, an organization needs to deploy something, or they need to improve their processes. So they employ a consultant to come help them understand the current state of that process, the future state of that process, and help move them from their current state to the future state, or help them improve their business analysis, help them improve that particular process. That's also business analysis. And you can see job titles here are managers and directors, vice presidents, C-levels. Someone has unmuted himself again.
Okay, don't do it. Don't do it.
Eh?
Okay.
I just said never do it.
Sorry for. Okay, good. We're back. So, and some managers, even managers and directors, perform business analysis work. You can see there, C-suites perform business analysis work. Some other job titles are business systems analysts, product owners for the Agile or Scrum framework. Some are also called senior business analysts. We have people that function in the hybrid role, and we have other titles that are too numerous for us to talk about. And 45% of global respondents report business analyst or senior BA as their title. And these are other job titles like business architect. Business architect do perform business analysis tasks and business analysis tasks. Data analyst, which we will talk about later. Enterprise analysts. So you see a lot of analysts. Why? You are analyzing. Anytime you are analyzing a process, analyzing a system, analyzing a problem, you are performing business analysis tasks. Management consultant, business systems analyst. And the main reason why I'm emphasizing that there's a BA in you is to help you to realize that your experience is not a waste. All that you have practiced all these years is not a waste. Everything you've known all these years is not a waste. There are a lot of transferable skills from where you have been to that your dream job or dream career of becoming a business analyst. We have other titles like process analysts, product managers, product owners, requirements engineer, system analyst, and before I continue, I would just like you to if you can just type in the chat your various job titles that you have. I just want to see the common job titles that we have. You can quickly just type that in the chat. I don't want to unmute everybody. Oh, wow. Salesforce Business Analyst. Baker, yes. Scrum Master, Help Desk, Service Desk, Financial Student, Tax Administrator. Wow. Wow. Pharmacists, we have highly skilled people here. HR Journalists, BAs. It's actually too fast for me to read out. So lawyer, wow. I told you, even BAs do business analysis. Lawyers do business analysis too, because when a client comes to a lawyer and has an issue, the lawyer needs to understand what is the problem. One, what does the law say? So what does the law say? How do we go and defend you in a law court or provide certain kinds of advice? That is some form of analysis. Banker, business consultant, property and casualty advisor, telesales, business development officer, early childhood educator. There is a business analyst in all of you. Thank you for the response. Awesome, awesome. We have highly skilled people here, and this is really awesome. So let's
chime in a bit here.
Okay.
Very interesting roles I see, and some of them, maybe because of the way the chart is moving so fast, you do not mention their title, they will feel there is no business analysis work in what they do. For example, the telesales analyst, a customer would call you, you will listen to the customer to understand what their needs are, what their peculiar situations are, and then based on all those information, you are able to profile them with solutions that will meet their needs. That is business analysis. There was another one that caught my attention, reconciliation analyst. When I'm working in the industry, they see those guys that do reconciliation as like nobody regards, not necessarily that nobody regards them, but they do all the dirty work. But basically that you are solving a problem. And like Harry mentioned, business analysis is all about understanding the needs of an organization, helping them resolve that need, delivering value, creating by reconciling account, making sure GLs are balanced. You are solving values. You are creating values. How much math is involved in business analysis? Some bits of math, because you are helping organizations create value, and value is at the end of the day, your value boils down to naira and kobo, dollar and cents. So there has to be some math involved. HR manager, you are trying to make sure you get the best form of resources for the organization to help them achieve their goals, to help them achieve their strategy. So you are doing some level of analysis to understand the different business units, the value stream, to know the skills that are needed and to be able to get those skills to support the organization. We could go on and on and on, but really, as there's some form of business analysis in what you do. And hopefully by the end of the 4 weeks training, we're able to convince you that you've been doing some unconscious business analysis work, like Harry mentioned earlier, and maybe you need some more formal processes and methodology to help you formalize and put your learning, your experience into structure and actually go get a real BA role. Harry, I'll hand back over to you, please.
Awesome, thank you for that. Someone asked, nursing, do we have business analysis in the medical field? I'm going to show you statistics later, and you find out one of the industries where business analysis tasks perform is in healthcare. It's in the healthcare industry. The healthcare industry employs a lot of titles that perform business analysis tasks. So you notice I'm not saying employ a lot of BAs. A lot of BAs are employed, but there are still so many titles. Financial analyst, there's just a lot of titles in the healthcare field, that perform business analysis tasks. We've had trainees that were pharmacists. We've had trainees that were pharmacists, and they've gotten their jobs and they are working as BAs, but we're able to let them see that your experience is not a waste. Your experience is actually applicable. Now, okay, I would like to also talk about the maths one. If you can go to the store and buy something, and as long as you can buy something in a store with currency, whether US dollars or whatever currency, you can do business analysis. So the much mathematics that is needed for you to buy something is just the same level of maths that is needed to do business analysis. So you are not doing the Y, the X, you are not doing some complex engineering maths. No. It's just enough maths for you to survive every day. It's just enough for business analysis. Okay, I will leave the chat a bit. How does an engineer transition to business analysis? If you saw my profile, I'm actually a trained engineer. So there's nothing like transitioning. You're already doing the job. You're already doing the task. You just need to learn the terminologies and become conscious, become a conscious BA. Okay, yes, okay.
So just to answer more the nursing question, my husband works with the IWK. He works in a big government hospital. His colleague, the medical doctor, is actually a consultant. He does business analysis work. He's a trained medical doctor. So basically, what does he do? He doesn't do ward rounds to check on patients, to diagnose. There are lots of projects in the hospital. They would need to buy some surgical equipment, some very complex beds. He needs to do analysis to know the number of patients that do come in for different parts, maybe the women's wing, the children's wing, do some data analysis to understand what the numbers are the beds they have in stock. Is it still, does it meet the needs of the patient? Like, things have, technology has improved. There are lots of things, some of the equipments they have do not really meet world-class organizations. So his job is to, do some form of benchmarking. What are bigger hospitals doing out there? He does a lot of research and then comes back to see how that can be implemented in the hospital. He manages those projects to make sure the hospital sets goals to say, this is what we want to do. We want to expand our offering to children, want to increase the women's wing or the children's wing. And this doctor, that is what he does. So he does business analysis. He was actually trained as a doctor, but that's not what he fell in love with the consulting role, and he has migrated to doing business analysis. And another thing you should know, you see all those nice jacket wearing consultants that do come into your organizations today to solve problems, and they pay them these fat checks. And when you are if you're in finance and you're processing those checks, you're like, what do they even do that they are earning this much? It's business analysis. Simple.
Thank you, Oge, for that input. There are too many questions, and if we keep attending to all the questions, we just might not go too far. So let's go. We'll answer those questions. Somebody is asking about data analytics. We'll talk about data analytics. Is just a BA that's focused on data. Simple. It's just a BA focused on data. There are BAs that are focused on insurance. There are BAs that are focused on health. There are BAs that are focused on education. So that is just another branch of business analysis. So it's just a BA, data analytics or business analytics. It's a business analyst that is focused on data strictly. There are BAs that are focused on insurance, that are focused on pharmaceuticals, that are focused on financials, that are focused on education. And that's why we have Salesforce BAs. That's why you will have financial BAs, so, but let's move on. So keep your questions coming because we are going to look at them. So keep your questions coming. What skills do successful BAs possess? So like I said, business analysis is a mindset. It is a way of thinking. It's not just a profession. It is not a title. It is a mindset. It is a way of thinking, and I really hope by the time we are done, I'm able to convince you about that. And that does a lot in your mind. It helps you see that I am already doing this thing, and I can easily show to employers that, yes, based on these that I've done in this and these places, even though I don't carry that title, I am able to provide value to your organization. I'm able to understand the needs of your organization and prefer solutions, that will meet those needs or provide value to your organizations. Okay, you can put your hands down. So when you really put your hand up, I would know. Let's continue. Yeah, so one of the key skills that you need as a business analyst is communication skills. Now, a lot of you have been sending lots of chats, sending messages in the chat. That's communication. You speak to people every day. Even yesterday, you spoke to people, understanding issues, understanding problems. Some of you have worked at the service desk or a customer rep. You work in a bank where people come into the bank and all you tell them is, welcome to so bank. How may I help you? Immediately you say, how may I help you? Not even immediately you say, immediately you say, welcome to this bank. That is communication. Because what are you doing? You are targeting your communication specific to the need of your customer. So the most important skill that a BA has is communication skills. Now, it could be verbal communication skills and it could be written communication skills. Now, in business analysis, which we are going to learn later, it's about engaging stakeholders. If you are working in the hospital as a nurse, your stakeholders are who? The doctors and the nurses, the pharmacists. If you are working as a customer relationship staff, somebody makes a phone call to you, you are engaging stakeholders. If you are working as a baker, you have customers. You don't just have customers, you have suppliers. Those suppliers supply you the ingredients that you need, your flour, your sugar, and you have to buy this flour, you have to buy this sugar, you have to analyze, where can I get the most quality flour or sugar for the best price? That is some form of analysis. And you are engaging stakeholders, suppliers that supply you the sugar and flour. And when you are done mixing, you have staffs that you engage. You have manuals. It might be written, it might be mental, but there's a procedure in which you bake. And after baking and preparing your bread or whatever you bake, maybe you bake whatever you bake, you sell to customers. You must determine the price, the best price. You must calculate the costs of preparing those things and also sell. That is business analysis. But the point right now is communication skills, which you already have, is one of the most important, or if not the most important skill that a BA must have. Another thing is problem-solving skills. So someone comes to you, let me use the example of the baker, or maybe you are even a fashion designer, maybe you create clothes and wares, and someone comes and says, oh, I want this particular wear, I want this style. That is a need. That is a business need. That is a stakeholder need, and you take that stakeholder need and you begin to say, okay, how do I create this style? Because people can come with all kinds of styles and like, how do I create this style? What do I do? What's the best way, that I can get this style and, my customer is going to be happy. So at the end of the day, you're solving that problem is making a stakeholder happy. And problem solving skills just mean that you know how to find the root cause of issues. The root cause of issues. You know how to find the root cause of a process. You know how to find the root cause of data. Maybe data is not, you're not getting the right insights from your data. You know how to find the root cause, or a department or a unit or a process has issues. Your ability to dive deep to find the root cause is what is called problem solving skills. Another very important skill is listening skills. You're engaged, when it's just like someone is coming to complain about something. Maybe you are a doctor or a pharmacist. One very critical skill is your ability to listen, because somebody is unmuted again. Okay. Okay, you want to say something or just help me mute? Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, I wanted you to pause so that I mute all and then, yeah.
Okay, so listening skills is critical, even for a doctor, even for a pharmacist. Because if you don't listen to your patient, you are going to prescribe the wrong drug. If you don't listen to the doctors, I don't know what doctors prescribe to the pharmacy, but if you don't listen to what the doctor is saying, you're going to give the patient the wrong drug. If you're a customer representative, if you don't listen to the stakeholder calling you, I have a problem, I can't make calls. If you don't listen, you are not fully even going to understand or figure out how to solve the problem. So listening skills, which I know most of you have, is another very critical skill that a BA is supposed to have. Now, stakeholder engagement. How do you engage stakeholders? And when I mean stakeholders, we are going to talk about that. People. How do we engage people? What does a stakeholder mean? A stakeholder means anybody that is interested in that thing that you are trying to offer. Anybody that has a stake, but anybody that has a stake. And sometimes it's even a perceived stake. So you might not feel the person has any reason to be aware of this, but as long as the person feels that, yes, because sometimes you have stakeholders that have high influence, and they can derail your project if they are not properly carried along. So you need to have stakeholder engagement skills. How do you engage people? Emails that you send to them, analysis. What kind of stakeholder is this? How often should this stakeholder be engaged? How should I engage this stakeholder? So that's another very important skill that a business analyst should have. And critical thinking skills. And what does critical thinking mean? Can somebody just put in the chat, what do you think critical thinking means? Because I interview a lot of people and I hear people just throw in when they are doing interview, oh, I have critical thinking skills, I have problem. What exactly does that mean? So can I just see in the chat if what you think, thinking out of the box, thinking about all aspects, thinking outside the box, in-depth thinking, yes, to think deep. Can we get a recording of this class? We'll get there. Just answer my question first, but we'll get there. Critical, think on paper, thinking about intangibles, ability to see different perspectives. Awesome. I wish I could track that person and give you, one of our freebies, but yes, but we'll see what we can do. Thinking true. You are not a shallow thinker. You don't just see things and just forget about it. You are thinking through. Holistic perspective. Wow. We have exceptionally brilliant people here. I just have to pause just to absorb all that you are throwing at me. This is excellent. Thinking the way out, skillful thinking. Yes. Critical thinking skills, your ability to differentiate what is important from what is not. Your ability to differentiate what is important from what is not. Your ability to see things holistically, like some of you said. Excellent. We actually have a lot of BAs here, and I hope you are seeing that you are a BA because you already have that mindset. Improving process efficiencies. So you work in an organization and you see the way you are doing your job in your department, even as a student, and you're like, we can do this better, and you are able to figure out how to do that thing in a better way, and you make that suggestion and it works. That is improving process efficiencies in your department. Maybe you use paper to do everything that you do, or maybe a process takes like 5 steps and you are able to eliminate 1 or 2 steps. That's an improvement. That's a process improvement. Now, but let me quickly answer that question. What is a process? Because the intention for this class is to demystify some of all these jargons. So what is a process? A process is a set of activities, related activities that achieves a particular goal. So a process is just different activities. They are common, they are related, but at the end of the day, if you put all those activities together, they are achieving a particular goal. For instance, you could have a process to sell. You could have a process on how to bake. How do you bake? From the ingredients. You could have a process on how to make a meal. Let's say, for instance, you are a chef. You want to make a particular meal. These are the ingredients you buy. These are the things that you put together.
Audio that time, first.
How
did they do that audio that time?
The
audio.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so process improvement, improving process efficiencies. It might be in your personal life, it could be in your organization, it could be in your department. As long as you are able to improve processes and make them more efficient, taking out the redundancies, taking out the non-value adding activities. Remember I said a process is a set of activities, related activities to achieve a common goal. Sometimes you can have 20 activities, but 5 of them are non-value adding. Your ability to eliminate, to understand the process, eliminate the redundancies is a form of process improvement. So that's one of the skills that a BA has. Another skill is improving customer experience. You know, how do we make our customer experience better? How do we make our customers happy? You know, how do we make our customers excited? And this will speak directly to those people that have done customer relationship, that are customer relationship experts or customer relationship analysts. You feel that, oh, all I do is pick up calls, or all I do is attend to customers. You are doing business, a lot of business analysis work. And you are trying to make your customer as satisfied as possible. Your customer engages you with a problem and they leave happy. That is customer experience. That's an enhanced customer experience. That's an excellent customer experience. But in carrying out all those activities, there are a lot of business analysis work that you actually do. Innovating, yes. And innovation means that you are able to see things differently, think out of the box. So as something is wrong, we usually would do it this way, but you found a more efficient way to do it. It's a form of innovation, and a bulk of us do it unconsciously. And that's why I said a bulk of us are unconscious business analysts. You're already a business analyst. You're not just conscious about it. But at the end of this class, you will be able to see that, yes, we'll convert you from being an unconscious BA to a conscious BA. Helping organizations gain competitive advantage. And when I mean organizations, it doesn't mean $20 billion organizations. It could mean a not-for-profit organization. It could mean a startup organization, a sole proprietorship. So when I say organizations, I'm not talking about very big enterprises. As long as that entity is performing some kind of business or offering some kind of service to people, I see you as an organization, and your ability to be able to provide them competitive advantage is part of the BA skills. Now, if you look at all these skills, did you see Java there? Your ability to code or do JavaScript or COBOL? It's not there. It's not there. Do you see engineering maths there? There's no engineering maths there. I studied engineering, so even for engineers, engineering maths can be a headache at times. It's not there. You don't need to know Java. You don't need to know JavaScript. You don't need to know Python. It could help you. I'm not saying it cannot help you. It can help you. You don't need to know what are the programming language. There are a lot of programming language, extremely technical things. Those are not the foundational skills of a BA. The foundational skills of a BA is communication and problem solving. Communication skills and problem solving skills. They are the most critical skills that you need to have as a BA. All the other ones are just cherries on the pie. They just make you distinct, make you stand out. Okay, so I don't know. Let me just quickly look at the chart. Yes, you don't need machine learning. Machine learning, wow, that's a big one. You don't need machine learning, no. You don't need Python or R. You don't need all that, to become a business analyst. So let's move on and look at other stuff. Now, let me show you some other skills that you need. It's just another like I said, communication skills, 9%. So you can see that the biggest skill set that you should have as a BA is the communication and problem-solving skills, even listening skills. You know, influencing skills, emotional intelligence, negotiation skills, leadership skills, storytelling skills. You already have skills, you know, that will bring value in your workplace, you know. And let's see. So what exactly do business analysts do? You know, what exactly do business analysts do? So I think analysts, they elicit stakeholder needs, like I told you. So when you see stakeholder, please don't think it's something from the space. It just means people that have a stake. It means your buyers. It means your customers. It means your project sponsors. You know, anybody that just has a stake. It means your customers that have issues. You know, business analysts discovers, they synthesize, analyze information. So somebody comes with a problem, you listen to them. You remember the listening skills. You listen to them and you are able to figure out, okay, this is what the problem is. And, you know, we might just begin to help you. They understand the root cause of issues. Remember problem-solving skills. Problem-solving skills is about understanding the root cause of an issue. Understanding the root cause of an issue. You know, you take maybe for instance, you are driving and you notice your car is wobbling. Maybe the tire is wobbling or something. And you know what? The car is wobbling. The best thing I need to do is to buy another tire. And you go and get the best of the best kind of tires. And you put it on. But it's still wobbling. Why? You did not do a root cause analysis. You did not understand the real reason why that car is wrong. It might not be the tires. You know, it might just be something else. Maybe a screw is loose somewhere or something needs to be tightened. I remember once I wanted to change my tires from my from my winter tires to my summer tires. I decided I was going to do it myself. So I went and I changed the tires myself. But I bought a new set of tools. And after changing it myself, there's this noise my car just developed all of a sudden. And I was like, what is going on? I only changed tires. You know, and I went to the mechanic to get it fixed. And the guy told me that you put the wrong tires in the wrong places. And for some strange, I never knew that you're supposed to put certain tires in certain locations. And it was like you placed them wrongly. I was like, wow, I didn't know that. I thought I would just change the tires and I'll move on. And to be frank with you, I didn't believe him. I told him it can't be true. This is not the first time I've changed tires. I've changed tires since I was 12 years old. I've been changing tires. So I can't be this old and changing tires and telling me I didn't put the tire. And the guy said, okay, let me prove it to you. So he just moved my tires around. And he said, this tire is supposed to spin in a particular way, but you turn the tire in the other way. So it's spinning in the opposite. So I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And the guy changed the tires and the noise stopped. Now, my point in saying that is that I did not perform root cause analysis. I did not figure out the root cause. But based on what that mechanic was able to do, he was able to tell me the root cause of the noise I was hearing in my car. Stakeholders, business analysts also investigate and clarify stakeholders' desire. You know, sometimes stakeholders will just come to you and say, oh, I have this problem, I can't make a call, or this is happening, or that is happening. But sometimes what they are saying is, like in my own example, what they think the problem is not actually what the problem is. Sometimes stakeholders tell you they want something, but they are actually wrong. What they want is something else. You know, but your ability to... Okay, no problem. Let's move on. Yeah, your ability to understand their needs and tell them what they really need is clarifying stakeholder desire. Stakeholders understand and document processes. Now, somebody said you are a baker here. I don't know if you have your baking procedures documented for your staff. You know, but the advantage of documenting is that anytime you have a new staff that is not experienced, you don't have to teach them all over again. They have process steps that they will take. You know, remember what I told you about process. Process is just a set of activities. If you want to change your tires, the first thing, you go to your boot, you get the new tire out. You get all the gadgets that you need. So every thing that you want to do, even if you are going to go out, even if you are going to get your children ready for school, there are a set of activities. That's a process. So when you see process, don't feel that, oh, where is this word coming from? It's just too big. It's just a set of activities. For instance, in your organization, maybe there's an approval for overtime. You know, when people work over the time, there's an approval. That's an overtime process. You know, so there are just different kinds of processes. Your ability to understand and document processes is also something that BAs do. You facilitate stakeholder collaboration. What that means is just you just facilitate, you make sure that stakeholders or your stakeholders, you are able to bring them together, maybe through a workshop, maybe through a meeting, maybe by sending surveys, maybe through emails. But that collaborating with stakeholders, you can facilitate that. It could be a workshop, it could be an interview, it could be a meeting. Business analysts also analyze needs and solutions. Business analysts understand enterprise problems. Okay. Don't worry, we have your time to talk. Just be patient with us, you know, because if we take all the talking, we might end up not doing anything. And business analysts also drive change. Okay, I think I'm going to, we are going to talk about some business analysis skills, and I will leave that to my colleague, Oge, to take over from here.
Yeah, Harry, please continue sharing.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So I think Harry has spoken a whole lot about what BAs do. And to summarize all that, he really drilled down a lot. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so Harry has taken time to break it down. So basically, in summary, business analysis are in the business of facilitating the creation and delivery of value. If everything you do does not amount to value, does not amount to improving satisfaction, then it's not business analysis. So all those things Harry described at the end of the day should either...
Okay, please hold on. Let me just mute people. Yes, you can continue.
Yeah, I tried to remove that access, but because the meeting has started, we can't set that access to stop participants from unmuting. We apologize for that. Next week, we'll make sure we do that before we start. So please just bear with us. We'll have to keep pausing and muting whoever unmutes. So basically, all what Harry explained is the end goal is to create or deliver value. Next slide, please, Harry.
Yes.
Yeah, and how do you create value? See, all those things Harry described at the end of the day, Harry, yeah, thank you. No, the next forward, yeah. So at the end of the day, see those activities he described, he should create value, like I said. And what is value? Value can come in different form. It can be tangible, it can be non-tangible. For example, tangible, you are creating a new product, right? You can actually feel that product. But when you are creating a service, it's not tangible, but you know you've created a value. When you reduce cost, when you increase revenue, you know you have created value. So basically, within the organization, I'm also tying this back to the first slide that Harry started with about what business analysis is all about. Within every organization are in the business of meeting one need or the other. Just think about it. Telecoms provider, they are meeting the need for people to be able to communicate. Even government are meeting needs. Government offices are meeting needs. So it's not just for profit organization, even not for profit charity organizations, they exist to meet one need or the other. And let me point this out. In business analysis, when you hear need, it can be a problem, it can be an opportunity. So think of it in that way. At the end of the day, you are trying to solve a problem and create value. You are trying to take advantage of an opportunity to also create value to your stakeholders. Harry has also explained what stakeholders is all about. So every activity you engage in, does it reduce costs? Does it help the organization increase revenue or increase their profit? Does it block revenue leakage? Does it improve productivity? You do a job, you do a job for, say, 5 days, but you've been able to improve the process and reduce it to 2 days. You serve your customer for 7 hours, but you're able to improve the process and serve your customers for 2 hours, right? At the end of the day, improved productivity will definitely lead to increased satisfaction, whether on the side of the employee or even your customer. You are improving the customer experience. You are improving the health and safety of your stakeholders. It could be your employees, because your employees are important. It's not all about the external customer. Internal stakeholders are also very important in any business analysis activity you engage in. You can also create value by reducing turnaround time. So when I say turnaround time, I mean, for example, a process, let's say, let's use a banking hall process. You know, you take about 30 minutes to be able to resolve to pay out a customer. And you, as a business analyst or wearing the business analysis cap in your bank, your teller role, you find a way of improving the process so that you can serve this customer in 10, 15 minutes. They're happy and they go back to their various business. You are improving the efficiency of the process. So turnaround time is more like reducing the process time, the time it takes you to accomplish a task. You are designing and implementing new processes. I would also use the banking sector as an example. For most times, okay, I will take the two, but designing and implementing new processes and complying with regulatory requirements. So we know that the financial industry is highly regulated, and from time to time, the regulators will send out policies and guidelines. And when they do this, they expect those institutions, it could be financial institutions, it could be institutions that are outside the finance space. So what do you do when they release these guidelines and policies? You're supposed to implement it. You're supposed to make sure you are in compliance. And most times to comply with those policies or those guidelines, it might require you to design a new process. It might require you to upgrade your technology tool. It might require you to even buy a new technology tool or buy a new equipment. And so you need to train people, customize it to suit your need, train people on how to use it. Those are business analysis work. You are designing and launching new products. You are conducting market research and analysis. And this also goes to the example of the doctor I explained earlier. So all business analysis tasks should lead to value in one form or the other.
Exactly.
So you are facilitating value. And again, you must know something, that as a BA, on your own, you cannot create value. You need to collaborate with your stakeholders. And Harry helped explain what that is about. On your own, sometimes you don't have the domain knowledge, you don't have the business knowledge. You need to work together with your stakeholders, work with customers to understand their needs. You're not the one wearing the shoe. You wouldn't know where it pinches. So when you begin to engage your stakeholders, working with them, that is how you're able to create value. That's how you're able to deliver value. So you cannot work in isolation. You need to be a good communicator. You're not solving your own problem. You are solving the problem of some stakeholders. Next slide, please. Okay, Harry made mention of something. You based on all the interaction and engagement so far, I want to believe that some of us can now own the fact that we do some form of business analysis tasks unconsciously, and our organizations do not recognize us or compensate us enough for doing those business analysis work. Do you agree with me? I want to see some feedback from the chat. Like, do you agree with what the slides we have shown so far, the knowledge we have passed on so far, that you actually do business analysis, but you do it unconsciously and your organization do not even know what you are helping them do, and you are not compensated as much as BAs do? Oh, absolutely. I see the engagement. Yes, someone says we are not remunerated enough. Okay, that's good. If we've been able to establish that with you, then I think we've met like 80% of our objective for today's session. So you're already doing business analysis. You just need some few addition, right? Some few things to add to it to come out and beat your chest and say, yes, I can actually practice as a business analysis professional. Okay. Harry, let's move on to the next slide. So yeah, where is business analysis practice? We'll not even waste time here. All of us here are from diverse industry, and business analysis is practiced everywhere. Like I said, for-profit organizations, not-for-profit, government, everywhere, because every organization is in the business of meeting needs. And the BA is just to step in, use methodologies and framework to help meet this need. You don't want to meet this need randomly, anyhowly. You want to follow a process so that you get a consistent outcome. That is what business analysis is about. So you practice business analysis everywhere. And let's look at some data to prove this. And this is also coming from the IIBA survey. Okay, basically, this next slide is just talking about that no part of the organization is excluded from business analysis activities. So this this image is gotten from they call them the BI guide, the business architecture guide. So they are a body of knowledge that helps building organization architecture to make sure everything works together. Everything works together to help the organization achieve their goals. So they've been able to define the various parts of the organization in this slide. So we have the policies and the rules and regulation. We have the vision and the strategy, because that's where basically the organization starts from. And then from vision, strategy, they distill it down to initiatives and projects that will help them achieve this strategy. There are matrices, there are measures they are using to measure to make sure they are achieving their strategy. And they do this. They try to achieve these services through different products and services. They have business rules, they have policies, they have regulation, they have capabilities, they have, there's an organizational structure, there is a value stream that helps them deliver that value. They have lots of information, the ones they generate internally, the ones customers generate, and they have lots of stakeholders, internal and external. So this is just describing the different parts of an organization. And business analysis is practiced in all these parts. Example, you can be implementing a new policy from the regulators. So you're working here. Can you see my cursor?
No. Maybe that's because I'm the one sharing.
Oh yeah, it's true. Okay. You're working with diverse stakeholders. You're also working at the strategic level to help organizations take advantage of gain competitive advantage. You're working on initiatives and projects. You're working to help design new products and services. You're working to improve the capabilities of the business. You're helping to make sure that information of the organization is safe, secured, well managed. You are improving the value stream of the organization. You are modeling the organization to be able to deliver on their vision and strategy. So business analysis is practiced every corner of the organization. No part is excluded. All right, please, next slide. So yeah, from the IIBA, which is the recognized business analysis body today, from their survey, their 2021 survey, it showed that about 74% of their respondents actually work in the private sector. We have about 20% working in the public sector, and we have about 6% that work in the non-for-profit. That's the charity bodies and all that. So a BA can actually work anywhere. In fact, I have a mentee that I'm coaching currently. He's supporting a charity organization, and he's doing business analysis work. So, and the size of the organization where BAs practice, like in any size, like we said, we are a fan of consulting. We provide consulting services to small size, medium size organizations. They do engage us. They may not have the budget to employ a BA full time, but what they do is to look for consultants, engage consultants to come do business analysis work for them on a need basis. So it's no matter the size of the organization, they require business analysis skills or business analysis work to be done within those organizations. All right, please, next slide. So the top industries, also from that report, the top industries that engage BAs, see the IT industries, of course, we know they are always designing new products. They need the communication skills, the problem solving skills of BA to make sure they are solving the right problem, right? And Apple does not want to design a new phone or an upgrade of a phone that does not meet customer needs. So they need some BAs to go do some market research, do some analysis to make sure they are designing the right product. The banking and finance industries, we have lots of BA practicing in that space. Of course, the consulting services, every consultant is a business analysis professional. Take my word for that. Of course, government organizations, healthcare and pharmaceutical. For our nurses and doctors that are asking, you can see the report. This is not Oge's data. This is the data from a recognized body. Next slide, please, Harry. Okay, and we're still talking about the areas business analysis can be practiced. So information technology, business process management, project management, product ownership, designing of new products, change management, organization change management. So we have what is called the product side of change and the people side of change. So most times when you hear about project management, you think it's just they want to be able to design a new IT product or meet a goal. But there's also the people side of change, because you're not just focusing on designing a new product, rolling out a new solution without thinking of the people that would help manage, that would use and adopt that process or that new tool. So you need to pay attention through organizational change management, and it's your BA skills you need. I currently work in an organization where I practice project management, business analysis, change management. On the project I work on currently, I am both the BA and the OCM specialist on that project. So I'm not only making sure that the needs and the requirements of the business, of the stakeholders are met, I'm also making sure that I carry stakeholders through the stages of the change, making sure that the change is adopted at the end of the day and that the organization do realize the benefit of their investment. Customer experience, some of you might say, like we talked about the telesales person, customer care specialist, you know, you think you are not doing, you are trying to improve customer experience, you are solving the problems of the customer, you want to give them, you want to leave a good taste of the organization when you finish serving them. Also in the area of data analytics, business intelligence, business architecture, data management, cybersecurity, you have BAs practicing in this space. And I would also take you back to a particular slide Harry shared where he said that business analysis is a mindset. A mindset. So, and that is why the BA is able to play. I can no longer see the shared screen. I can still see the shared screen, I don't know. So it might be the problem of that individual. So yeah.
Oh, you cannot see the shared screen. Can everybody see the slide?
I see some responses in the chat. Others can see the slide. So
maybe you can disconnect and connect back for that person that can't see anymore. Sorry, okay.
Yeah, thank you. That's okay. So the reason why the BA is able to play in all this space is because business analysis is a mindset. It's a mindset of you trying to create and deliver value. If you live, for example, let's look at the data analytics, the business intelligence space. You have very technical people working in that area, people that are writing codes, people that are doing machine learning. But we need to be able to understand the needs of the business, the needs of the customer. We don't want people that are narrow-minded, that are just focused on their codes. We want people that understand the needs of the business and to be able to do data analytics or business intelligence to meet the needs of the business. Because whatever activity you are engaging in as an individual in an organization, and you're not paying attention to your stakeholders, your customers, at the end of the day, you won't create value. So, and that is even the reason why organizations do engage BA, because most times the BA are like the middleman between the business and the IT or the very technical people. So business analysis is a mindset. As a cybersecurity person, you can actually take business analysis training to adopt that mindset in doing your work. And I assure you, you will not be an ordinary data analytics or an ordinary business intelligence professional. You'll be compensated more for the skills you'll be bringing on the table, because you're not just having those core technical skills. You have some very well sought after soft skills like the communication skill, problem solving. You have an understanding of the business and the industry. You're not solving problem in isolation. You have a systemic mindset. You think system-wise. You think holistically, right? That is the business analysis mindset. So other functional BA titles we've seen, for example, we've seen very technology specific. We've seen BAs practicing in specific technology. For example, you hear Salesforce business analyst, SAP business analyst, ServiceNow business analyst, Microsoft Navigation BA, name it, whatever new technology. Basically, what you will tend to see with such title is that apart from having the business analysis mindset, which is the core skill, they've now topped it up to specialize in understanding that product, that technology product. For example, the Salesforce, you understand the modules within the Salesforce, you understand how to administer, how to assign user rights, how to support users that are using that technology tool. So you find BAs working in this space. You also have BAs working in domains, in industry. So we've said this before, the financial industry, the healthcare, manufacturing. I've practiced business analysis in the manufacturing industry, in retail. I've done financial industry. I've done oil and gas industry. You need, like I mentioned, business analysis is practiced everywhere. We also have the framework BA. You hear agile business analysts. They're still BAs, right? But they understand the agile framework. It could be Scrum, it can be Kanban, it can be extreme programming. There are different frameworks under agile. You can also be a lean process business analyst. You can practice business analysis in different perspectives. You can be a data analyst. You can be a business intelligence analyst. You can be a cybersecurity BA. Yes, you can actually be a cybersecurity BA. I have a friend, she works as a cybersecurity OCM specialist. So she manages organizational changes within the cybersecurity team of our organization. So you can decide to specialize, right? I am a general BA. I have not gone industry specific or domain specific. I can work in any domain. I just need to understand that domain, understand the industry. My stakeholders will help me do that. I don't have to be an expert in any industry domain. I just need to be a good communicator, know how to solve problems, be a good researcher, be a good learner, be a fast and quick learner, right? I can learn on my own. And you'll be able to, at the beginning, you will need lots of information, but as long as you have that core business analysis skills and mindset, you'll succeed anywhere, I assure you. I've done it, I've worked in various industries. So why do we need BAs? Harry, I'll take the first part of this and you take the second part. So I'm going to look at this from two perspectives. So the BA is in the middle. We have the organization and we have the BAs. Why? So let's look at it from the organization perspective. Why do organizations look for BA? Why are BA jobs highly sought after? Okay, somebody's correcting me, saying systematic, not systemic. So I actually meant to say you have to be a system thinker. You think system when you think. You are not thinking, you look at the big picture, right? You don't think in isolation. You don't think in silos. So thanks for that. If I mentioned systemic, I apologize for that. I actually meant you should think as a system, right? Holistic, big picture thinking. Don't think in silos. Yeah, and okay, so yeah, this is what I was just referring to. Sorry, you can't see my cursor. So there's system thinking, far left of the screen there. So why do organizations need BA? So organizations are typically in a firefighting mode most times. When something happens, Harry gave a very good example. Because it's an organization, they just want to be able to serve their customer and make money. they don't spend time to do root cause analysis. There's always a fire brigade approach to solving problems. And do you know what happens when you do that? You only solve the symptoms. And you solve the symptoms that day. Okay, yes, problem solved, let's continue. The next day, that same problem will come up again. And what does that mean? The organization is wasting time and effort, resources, solving symptoms of problem rather than investing time and effort to fix the root cause of that problem so that it does not recur again. However, they do not have time to do root cause analysis because they are too busy. They want to make sure they meet customer. They want to make sure they meet their target, they meet sales. They don't have time to solve problems. I worked in a retail organization and I worked with the sales. I worked with every part of the organization. And the sales people are very interesting people to work with because they are giving target every month and they just want to sell. They just want to sell and meet target. Any other thing you tell them, if you tell them anything that kind of differ from, or anything that stops them from meeting their sales, you are their enemy. So how would they have time to solve a problem? They will only solve the symptoms and they will not go to the root cause. So that is why we need BAs in organizations. Let the sales people sell. Let the operations people continue with operation. And let the BA that is a problem solver that knows how to think creatively, innovatively, that is patient enough to do the 5 whys, to do the fishbone analysis. Don't worry, I'm trying to mesmerize you a bit, but you will learn more as we go. You know, so the BA now comes in with his spanner to solve the problem, to do detailed diagnosis, right? To understand what actually is the root cause so that the organization is not wasting money, wasting time, solving symptoms all over again. The BA also is a system thinker because if you're not careful in an organization, you will solve problem in sales and create problem in operations. Yes, because the salespeople just want to sell. They want to sell. They don't want anything slowing them down. But you have some people in finance that are interested in receivables. They want to make sure that they are able to collect back money that is sold. They are managing the finances of the organization. They are looking at the balance sheet, the P&L. But the sales guy, what's his P&L? What's his balance sheet? So if the salesperson comes to you with a problem, you're not only going to look at it from the side of the sales, of the salesperson. You want to look at it holistically to see who are the stakeholders involved in that process. How does the activities of this sales team impact the finance team, impact the operations team, or HR, or the safety team? So you are solving problem with you have the big picture in mind. You don't want to solve problem here. You don't want, the salesperson calls you, oh, I need to sell, but the system is telling me the credit that there's a credit limit, but my customer has paid. You don't just want to quickly go to the system as a BA, if you have that right, to give them that access to sell. You want to check with the finance people to understand what the rules are, what the policy is, right? So you are not fixing one problem here, you are creating another problem. You are looking at everything from the big picture. That is what BA do. You are not coming, there's no fire brigade approach to your work. There is a method. There is a process to solving problem, which we are going to show you in the course of this training. So this is just, I will stop at this is why BAs, organizations do need BA. And from LinkedIn, a LinkedIn report showed that during the pandemic, that the most sought after skill, the skill that jumped by the highest margin, is business analysis. So look at, we have blockchain, we have cloud computing, we have analytical reasoning. Artificial intelligence went down by -2, cloud computing +1. You have scientific computing going up by +3. But the business analysis skill jumped by +10 because the pandemic took a lot of organizations off balance. They were like, what do we do? How do we make sure that our staff that are working remotely, they are able to access resources securely? How do we make sure that everybody have all they need to work? For example, I work in an organization where we don't have all our process digitized. So part of the project I did at the beginning of the pandemic was to automate our bookstore. I work with a college, we sell books to students. Because we didn't want them to come in, we didn't want so many people coming together. We wanted, before now, they have to come into the bookstores at the campuses and buy the books they need for their courses. But we then needed to find a solution to make sure that students can stay in the comfort of their houses, order their books, have it delivered, or pick up at the COP side, make sure many people are not coming together. I also had a department that had all their processes on paper. All the approvals were done manually. But with the pandemic, nobody is in the office, right? So we had to do some business analysis work to make sure that that department continued doing their work. However, digitally now, we needed to digitize some of their process, some of their paper processes. And so I'm not surprised seeing this skill. And of course, we know we've been seeing variants of the BA, and most organizations are working remotely. Most have not gone back full time. And we don't even know how things are going to pan out, right? So the business analysis skill jumped up by 10. Harry, can we go to the next slide? I'm trying to rush a bit so that we can answer questions. So Harry, I will pause here. Okay, let me take this to the end. So and now I've talked about the value of business analysis to the employer, to organization. So now let's look at it from an individual point of view. So let me ask us a question. Why do we wake up every morning, Monday to Friday, rush out of our house to go and do one work or the other? What is the objective? What do we hope to achieve? Salary, just any salary. I see Neki. To earn money, yes. And we know that to pay bills, yes, the Benjamins. To earn good salary, because there are salaries and there are salaries. We know that. Some people wake up, we all wake up together, but we realize that some people earn times 2 what we are earning, and we all spend the same hours at work, right? So, or work competitive wages. Thank you very much. Yeah. So basically, why business analysis? It is a highly compensated job, because the skills are not very common. Not everybody have problem-solving skills. Not everybody is a good listener. Not everybody is a good communicator. However, we can learn the skills. Some people are not born great communicators. Some people are not born as excellent problem solvers. Some people do have those traits, right? It comes to them naturally. But every human being can be trained. You know, there's this slide that says, oh, some people are born leaders, only some group of people can be leaders, but it's not true. You, as a human being, you are trainable. A human being remains ordinary until trained. So you're not different from these guys that wake up and earn this arm robber salary, like they will call it where I'm coming from. You can earn it. You just need to get the right skills and the right training to help you earn it. Yes. So look at the amount they pay business analysts in the US. Let's look at North America. So see, it's over 100,000 USD. See the Canadian number. It's almost 100,000, because this is just the average. You have some earning over 100,000 and some earning below. And we know, I don't want to make mention of some other jobs. We know what they earn, right? Yeah, this maybe you have to work for 2 or 3 years to earn this amount of money some people are earning in a year. Next slide, please. Okay, so another reason why we have people, why people do business analysis work is that, apart from the fact that it pays higher salary, actually 28% more than average, is a more interesting work. And that is why I do business analysis. My first degree was actually industrial chemistry. I then trained as a chartered accountant, but I really not practiced those 2 professions. I just love business analysis. I love solving problems. I love creating value. It's very interesting. There's never a dull moment. I personally cannot do a monotonous work. I cannot cope in such environment. I love new challenges, new things, learning new things. You know, it keeps you aware of what is happening in your environment. Because for you to be a good BA, a successful BA, you need to be aware of what is happening around. You need to be very conversant with trends and all that. And of course, better work-life balance. Oh yes, I've been working remotely for 2 years now, and I hope to continue working that way. Yes. Better workplace culture in some places. And there is something I love about my work. I am very well respected, because whenever I come on project or I come to organizations, they see me as a problem solver. And there's this respect, like they see me as a superhero. Like I have this toolkit this bag, you know, I don't know if there's this cartoon I watched as a kid, something Billy, that has this bag where he can bring out everything that solves all the problem. So that is how they see beings, like, they are superheroes, they come and solve all the problems, they come and make everything work. Sports Billy, exactly. So we are sports Billies, we are superheroes, and we get promoted very often. Like, in fact, if you are looking for promotion, something, I'm not encouraging you to do it though. You just simply start looking for another job. Have a good brag sheet to brag to the new company that this is what you have been able to do and you can do. And, you know, you are just getting pay rise like that. So it's a very interesting career, I assure you guys. Next slide, Harry. Harry, do you want to take this?
Yeah, I'm just going to rush through this because I want us to be able to do some deep dive into some BA concepts, you know, but this is just something to show the unconscious BA. But I'm beginning to see that we are moving from unconscious BA competence, you know, because I can see a lot of people beginning to see the BA superhero in yourself. Now you are moving towards the conscious BA competence. So the unconscious, you understand the industry, you understand your domain, you are working as a baker, a fashion designer, you understand that industry as a principal, someone in education, in medical or healthcare, you have your good communication skills, you are a problem solver, critical thinker, you are result-oriented, self-motivated. Quickly, can someone tell me one quick word for problem solving? Because I've mentioned it a couple of times. When I say I'm a problem solver, what does that mean? I just want to see, I know we're extremely intelligent here, so I still just want to satisfy myself. Yeah, yes, a business analyst is a problem solver. Excellent, excellent. And I want you to realize that that person is in you. So problem solving is about root cause analysis, and that is what you, and I'm saying you, I'm pointing to you, do as a business analyst. So let's move to the next slide. I want us to just move a little. Yes, please.
Question. Somebody asked if a business analyst can work from home. Very interesting question. Yes. And I want to also let you know that as a business analyst, you can practice from anywhere in the world. So there are platforms today that are actually looking for these skills. You have Upwork. I don't know if anybody has heard about Upwork. You have Fiverr. You have some BAs that do provide services on those platforms. You are in anywhere in the world. You are in Africa, you are in Asia, you are in Europe. You can actually provide your services on those platforms and earn foreign currency wherever you are. So, and you can just set up your office, your set up office at home, and you can earn. So basically, just get that knowledge, get the training you need, and begin to sell yourself. Begin to make yourself available out there on those platforms. As in the world is open. There was something I had in mind, which because I'm trying to rush, I guess. So the beauty of the business analysis career is that it's a very mobile. Is a very mobile career. So your knowledge and your skills are mobile. Anywhere in the world you can provide your services. Like there is no restriction, no bars. Anywhere in the world. I don't know if anybody has read the book called The Jewish Phenomenon. So they were doing analysis to understand why the Jewish people are very, very successful. And the findings was that they usually have skills that are mobile, such that anywhere they find themselves, they are able to provide that skills and earn money. The skills you have is not tied to a location, a geographical location. Yeah, it's a very interesting read, and I encourage people to read that book, yes. So the Jewish phenomenon is about if you want to be a successful person, you should be able to, your skills, your knowledge should be mobile. Anywhere you go, you should be able to deploy that skill, that knowledge. You should be able to earn from anywhere in the world where you are. I hope that answered that question.
Sorry, there's another question, quick one before you move on, Harry. I don't know, he's saying, what's the difference between the functional BA and the technical BA? Is this the time to answer that, or maybe much later?
Yeah, because if I want to answer that, I might need to go into some extra details. But a couple of things that we're going to say will help to clarify that. We talked about some functional roles like the ServiceNow, the application specific, like Salesforce and all that. But we'll deep dive into that. So I saw that question and we'll definitely answer that. So please be patient with us, and thank you, Jibola, for helping us to note that. Now, somebody's talking about, is it okay to skip certification? And is it okay to skip certification and just job hunt? Yes, I would say that question is like, for instance, somebody is saying, I want to learn how to bake. Should I learn how to do icing first, or should I learn how to do the cake first? So usually what is important is for you to get the basic knowledge, and that basic knowledge you already have, that basic skill you already have. When you start practicing, you can put the cherry on the pie and, get your certification. But to get BA jobs, it is not mandatory that you have certain certifications. You can have them. I don't have a problem with that, but get into the practice first. And the best way to get into the practice is to itemize the business analysis task that you do in your current role. Put that in your resume. Let your resume be targeted towards the job and start applying. So apply for the job, get the job, then you can look at certification. Now, some people have been doing the job and they say, okay, you know what? I think I'm ripe to get the certification. Go ahead. We can also help you get that. How much knowledge do we need in technology? All you need in technology is your Microsoft Office suite, PowerPoint to do presentations, Microsoft Word to document your needs and to model your requirements, Excel to write your requirements or do your traceability, Visio or other modeling tools to do your process flows, your use cases. So it's just basically writing your user stories. You can use an application called Jira. You can write it in Microsoft Word. There's really no special technology. Like I said, you don't need Java skills to be able to do that. Yes, Gantt chart. But Gantt chart is actually, we are now getting very specific, but it's also a good one. Now, let me move on with the slide. So how to start your BA career, just identify your skills. Very important. Identify your skills. It's very, very important. Your current role, their business analysis tasks that you perform. And you know what you could do? After this training, go to a job site and just type business analysis and just see what comes out. And you will see that one of the most common denominators you will find is communication skills, problem-solving skills, communication skills. So those are some of the things that should appear in your resume. But just go to a job site and type business analysis, and you should see a lot coming out from there. Now, there are commonly asked questions, and like what's different between a business analysis and business analytics. So business analysis, like I said, it's a mindset. And what is that mindset? Understanding customer needs, providing solutions that solve that need, and enabling change by delivering value. That's just business analysis. Business analytics is just a business analyst that is focused on data and deriving insights from data. Because even if you take data and you are trying to analyze data, that's still business analysis, because you are doing some form of analysis, trying to find trends, trying to look at the patterns in a data to make predictions. So the point is that data analytics or business analytics, it is just a business analyst that specializes in deriving insights from data. Do BAs need coding skills and technical skills? No. And please, I want to note that word need. A BA can have coding skills, but it really doesn't need. And also it depends on the job. Remember, I said there are different perspectives of business analysis. Is certification and is a certification training enough? Yes, certification is okay, but you need the experience, and that experience is what you have. Do BAs write requirements all the time? No. So the reason why we put this question here is that I always see people, I interview people that are trying to get jobs, and you always hear this, almost every question has requirements inside. So people think that when you say business analysis another word that is synonymous to business analysis is requirements. No, that's not true. That is not true. So BAs write requirements, but requirement is not a magic wand word that you just fling, just fling around so people know that you're a BA. BAs do write requirement. And what is a requirement? A requirement is just a capability that a system has that is going to solve a problem. So that's just another name for requirement. Just a capability that the system will have to meet a user need or a business need. For instance, you want to travel and you need to know the fastest route to get to your destination, and one of the things, you need a system that can automatically calculate the fastest route and give you the time. That is a capability. That is a requirement. And one solution that can meet that requirement is what? A GPS. A GPS can give you that, help you with that. Or your Google Maps. Yes, your Google Maps is a solution that meets that requirement. Will there be mentorship or internship after this training? Absolutely. But it comes, we have a group, but for some specific kind of mentorship, it comes at a price, which we'll talk about later. So I would, yes, we mentioned this earlier. We're going to have one lucky winner that gets 100%. So this 12 weeks business analysis practicum is practical focus. So we take a case study. Usually these case studies are real life business problems, and we solve that problem end to end. This is exactly what a BA would do. And why we are doing that is just to help, some people are still not confident. So we just want to help you ground those skills in you so that you understand exactly what a business analyst does end to end in any given project. We're also going to have 5 lucky winners that receive a scholarship for Scrum Fundamentals. So this is self-paced and the cost is about $200, but we'll have 500 lucky winners. And for this practicum, it's valued about 1.7. And yes, so I think I will skip this for now. So these are just what BAs earn in Africa, in Asia, in Europe. And these are the industries. We've moved through that. But in United States, BA, I'll just run through this. BA earn an average of $108,000 US every year. If you look at the skills in the US that BAs have, communication, listening, and problem solving. And I see all of you here. I know we all have these skills. Let's move on to Canada. It's about an average of 96,000. And you see the skills again: communication, listening, and problem solving, the top 3 skills. I'm emphasizing that this is the United Kingdom. They earn about £56,000. And if you look at the skills again, communication, stakeholder, and listening skills, Australia, people really earn a lot, which is about 27,000, and the skills are also communication, listening, and stakeholder engagement skills. In South Africa, we don't have the statistics, but a bulk of the people work in the banking, finance, and insurance, and 8% work in consulting and professional services. In Nigeria, a bulk of people that practice BA work in the banking, finance, and insurance. The energy and utility is about 10%, and consulting is about 10% too. Now, let's go into what business analysis is. So now let's go proper. Business analysis, like we said, it is just a practice of enabling change. Yes, okay.
I think we should take questions. You're going into...
Okay. Oh, yes. I apologize for that. Yeah, let's do the questions quickly. Fisayo's hand has been raised. I don't know if his hand must be paining him now. I'm sorry if you're a lady or a guy. So maybe I'll just, because your hand has been raised, I'll just quickly unmute you, or ask to unmute, then you can ask your question.
And please, if your question has been addressed through the commonly asked questions, let's save time and not ask it again. and just move on to something that's not been addressed, please. Let's help. Let's stick to time.
Yeah, Fisayo, I sent a request for you to unmute. Somebody asked, is it possible to directly transition to a senior BA role? Yes. If you have been doing the business analysis task, of course you can. If you are confident about your skills, yes, you can. You don't have to shortchange yourself and say you want to start as an entry-level BA. No, you don't have to at all. You don't have to. So Fisayo has refused to. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I raised my hand in error.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, Stella. You can unmute, Stella. Okay, I sent you a request to unmute. Okay.
You have a list of the questions that some of the questions we've missed. Do you want to read out?
Yes, there are a couple of questions in the chat, but they are coming in with so much.
Yeah.
So I have a few here listed here, Harry.
Okay, great.
Let me mention a few. So one here says, how do we transition our position into senior role in business analysis directly from other IT area?
Okay. Okay, let me take that. So for instance, in business analysis, what does it mean to maybe be a senior BA? A senior BA means that you can take a project, and you can do your business analysis activities end to end. That means you can understand business needs, you can engage your stakeholders, you can identify who all your stakeholders are without skipping any. Please, I need your number so that I can call you after the session. Okay, fine. You can understand your business, the business need. You can profile solutions. You can document your requirements. You can document your requirements in models. So what do I mean by models? Remember children. Usually, if you have a storybook, and that's maybe it's one of the stories. If you want to present a story to a child, what do you use? You present it in pictures. Because the children understand, human brain understand things when they are more in pictures. So when I say model, I mean picture. So you present your requirements to the business in models because people understand when they see pictures. But yes, different kinds of models. There are actually different kinds of models that you have: use case, process flows, transition state diagrams. There are different kinds of models, which we are going to talk about, so those are the skills that you need for a senior BA. So a senior BA, you don't need someone to handhold you. You don't need someone to tell you this is what you are supposed to do. This is how you do it. You have the skills, to actually do the job. And now there are so many chats coming in. I am skipping questions.
There's another one that says.
Go ahead. James, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm just trying to find the questions. There are a lot.
Okay, so
Stella, I asked Stella to unmute, but she's not unmuting. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I was just waiting for you to finish so you don't lose your train of thought.
Okay.
So my question is about internship. I understand that you're situated in Canada. For people that are not in Canada, how do they benefit from the internship program? So for instance, if someone is joining in from Nigeria, for example, how will such a participant benefit from internship and mentorship from your organization?
Yeah. Okay.
So I need to clarify that we are only providing the business analysis. The free training is only for 4 weeks. And 4 weeks is not enough for you to do what we call a job readiness training to be able to confidently develop those skills that you need to learn, or you need to be successful in a BA role. We have lots of BA. Are they all successful in the BA roles? I cannot answer that question. So we need to point out clearly that this is just a 4 weeks training, and we're going to cover as much as we can, right, in that 4 weeks. We are not providing any mentorship. We're not guaranteeing you mentorship here and internship. However, we do offer a 12 weeks business analysis training, and we're going to show you all the offerings, what you stand to gain. If you decide to subscribe with us, yes, you can get mentorship, and yes, you can get internship opportunities. And like I mentioned, the BA the BA work can be practiced anywhere. We are a consulting firm. We consult for companies in Nigeria. We consult for companies across the globe. So your geographical location may not be important. However, sometimes you may be willing to make some sacrifice because we have people joining from different time zones. And sometimes the time might not be favorable to everyone, but it's a sacrifice you are willing to make within a period of time. So I hope that answers your question, Stella.
Okay, so thank you again for that answer. Someone said the Telegram group is full. That is true, that's a limitation. But the WhatsApp group is full. That's a WhatsApp limitation. You can also join the Telegram group. Telegram can take way more people. So please click on the Telegram group and join. Rashid has raised up his hands. Let me quickly take Rashid before Stella and Feisayo. You can take your hands down, and Rashid, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for the training. So my question basically is trying to get more insight into people like us that are, let's say, unconscious BAs. And so someone like me, I've been working as customer service, customer experience, financial institution, and also in fintech, that's financial technology. So now my question is, how do I like move into BA role? Like, basically, I don't know if this is the certification that I need, or because from what you've explained here, I just noticed that even from the beginning of my role as a consultant, then to now a team lead, I can see that what I've been doing is a BA role, both to the customers and even to the organization. Because when customers come with a lot of issues, we try to just proactively inform other support teams like IT, engineering, and all that this is what the customer is saying, this is what they need. And they try to maybe do some things to just solve those problems. So I believe I've been doing that, but how to now like practically enter the role is what I would just need guide on. Thank you.
Yeah, so for that's not really anything too difficult. For that, what you just need is to be able to, like I said, identify those your transferable skills. So you said you were working as a customer rep, and now you are a team lead, if I got that right. And there are a lot of BA activities. So we need just to be able to identify those activities, put them in your resume. Hopefully you can go through our class and be attentive. So that's one thing I would say. As we go through this class, begin to get a sheet of paper and start writing down those things that you have done in you are currently doing, or you've done in the past, that are related to business analysis. Just start writing them down. Did you solve a problem somewhere? Did you do root cause analysis? Were you able to facilitate a meeting or facilitate a workshop, and all that? Were you able to improve a process? Were you able to document the activities in a process? Were you able to find opportunities in a particular process to make a process more lean or something like that? So just begin to document all those things down, because those are the things that you would have to actually translate to your resume and also use to defend yourself when you are having an interview. So that's just that's the way to do that. Document your skills, transferable skills, put them in the resume. Go to any job site, type business analysis, and you will see all kinds of business analysis tasks. And that will help you to also help your memory to remember some things that you've done. Oh, I've done this before, and this is how I can put it in my resume. So the main thing is on your ability to translate those things into your resume. Yes, so...
Harry, please, can you go back to the slide that has the flow of how to start a BA job? Let's just quickly run through that for him and for the benefit of others that might not be clear on how, because I see a lot of that question, how do we start?
Okay, sorry, I'm looking for...
Just keep going. Keep
this going. One?
Yeah, that's it. The flow, not this one. Yes. So Rashid, in answering, just to buttress Harry's point, basically get the right mindset. And I think we've helped people come to that level with this presentation. People are realizing, oh, I've actually been doing business analysis and I can actually do this. I have some skills already that can be transferred. So once you've made that mind and that this will require a lot of work, you've made up your mind, you are actually willing to put in that work. So you perform what is called a BA competency assessment. Harry shared a slide where he walked us through the key skills that are required of business analysts. So you've been practicing business analysis unconsciously. Now you are going to sit down, spend time and assess yourself in all those areas. So the IIBA actually has a resource that can help you do this. It's actually a spreadsheet kind of, when you are putting in numbers, assessing yourself objectively, it's able to tell you your level and what you need to do, what the gaps are. I might be able to share that link within the groups for those that have joined the groups. So you articulate your current skills. What are your transferable skills, like Harry has mentioned? Benchmark it against the IIBA competency framework. Yeah, identify your skill gap and develop an action plan to close those gaps. And one critical action gap you can want to start running with is to get a coach or a mentor. Look for people like us that do provide what I call a job readiness training, not an Udemy 30 minutes or 1 hour training or an IIBA, CBAP certification, CCBA certification. They are not job readiness training. They will not equip you with the knowledge and skill you need to be successful in a business analysis role. So you can sign up with us. We're going to talk more about our training next week just because of time. We're trying to respect people's time. So we're going to talk more about the 12 weeks training and what the offerings are, what you will get out of it and all of that. We'll talk about that more next week. So get a coach and a mentor. What does a mentor help you do? They reduce your journey. If you can decide to go and do all the Udemy training, YouTube training, read the Babok, read books on business analysis, and you're still confused because what you don't know, you really don't know. You need a mentor that will reduce your journey and help you start out quickly. In fact, next week we'll be sharing some of our testimonial. We have a participant of one of our last training program was just in about 6 weeks, in about 6 months, sorry, she was able to complete the training and land a job. Yes, it's that fast. So it also depends on you on how much work you want to put in. It will be stressful, will require your time and effort, but as long as you're willing to put in the work, you're going to get the results. So get trained, learn the right techniques, and so right now you practice business analysis unconsciously. There are frameworks, there are methodologies, there are tools, there are techniques that are used in the practice of business analysis. You need to learn that. We would help you do all that. You need to align your resume. I saw some questions. Oh, how do I begin to align my resume to a BA? So in the course of that training, we'll show you how. And basically what we do is that you're not going to throw away all your experiences. We do not recommend that because you're already doing business analysis. But we're now going to open your eyes. You need to now see what you do from a business analysis perspective. You need to look at what you do from another lens. You're going to wear the lens of a BA, take off your normal routine operational work, wear the business analysis shade and look at what you are doing and begin to articulate it and develop your BA resume. Yes. And of course, you can, if you are very competent, you can get a job without getting certified, but you want to increase your chances of getting a job quickly because organizations do value certifications. You might want to also get certified before job hunting. So you can actually, from getting training, begin to job hunt, or you can decide to get a certification and then continue job hunting. I hope that answered the question and any other question that might come around that area. Harry has posted, I think, a job posting, a job description that we can look at and see, begin to compare what we do, and that would help us begin to see how we can begin to tailor our resumes to be based on what we do currently. Your experience is very relevant. I do not agree with trainers that finish training you and cook up a resume you cannot even relate or find yourself inside. So your experience, very relevant, very, very relevant. So relevant certifications. Kemi, okay, Kemi, can you help us put in the IIBA certification? Somebody's asking, can you list the relevant certification? I can actually do that, don't worry, Kemi. Gibbs, you can ask the next question, please.
Yeah, so Fisayo, I've answered Fisayo Rashid, Augusta. Somebody said, do we have BAs in HR? A lot. I actually know BAs. I just can't mention their name. I know BAs in HR right in my head right now. There are a lot of BAs. And I sent a job posting that is specific for business analysis, business analysts practicing as human resource personnel. So we have that. Augusta, can you?
What? To that. So in my prior organization that I worked, there's a role that was created. It's called the HR business partner. That is actually a business analysis role. It's called the HR business partner. Some banks, I know, consulting for some of the banks, I saw those kind of roles. So before the HR person would come up with job description, job specification, skill set, they need to do some level of analysis. So HR specialists that know what they are doing are actually business analysts, or they are business analysts. I'll call them business analysis professional. They don't have the job title business analyst, but they are business analysis professional. They practice business analysis. Yes, somebody saying it's used in the bank. I know I came across it in the banks in Nigeria when I was consulting for the financial industry.
There's a question here. My goal is to be able to apply for and get business analysis roles at the end of this 5-week program. Is this a realistic goal, or would I require more training to achieve this? I think we need to clarify that this is a 4-week program, and you need to hurry.
Yes. So, well, I would say it depends on the level of how mature that you are in your business analysis skills. So, but I cannot answer that question of how mature you are in your skill. I can only tell you that you've performed business analysis, but your level of maturity is what I don't know. But I can assure you that if you do the 4 weeks and you do like a practicum, hopefully you do with us or you do somewhere else, but if you do with us, I can assure you that you are going to get those practical not idea, but walk through of what you do as a business analyst in a typical project. Of us need. We know we've done this thing. We know we can do it, but you just need you want someone to walk you through, to give you the context in which you can practice this, so you can actually see yourself in it. So the answer to that question is not here, neither is it there, because I don't know the level of your maturity. But if you go through a practicum class, which we do offer, you should be able to start applying for the job and get a business analyst role. Another thing I'll quickly say that we offer mentorship. So for instance, we have BAs that are practicing. So someone gets a BA job, but sometimes you meet projects and you're not even sure what to even do in respect of that project, but you just need someone to throw a question to say, what do you think about this? This looks strange. I've never seen something like that. We can advise, we can, give you pointers and guides on how to, so those are some of the services that we offer. Now, let me quickly go to Augusta quickly. Augusta, if you can unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
Hi. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I just want to first of all thank you all for this opportunity. It's a really great opportunity. But and thank you for your explanation that because I think I had wrongly assumed that it was a 4 weeks program, but now that you've explained that it's actually a 12-week program, I think I understand that better. But I wanted to ask, my question is built on the previous, a question that someone had previously asked. So we have been, or rather, most career coaches have told me that in order to get the job that you want, you have to tailor your resume or your LinkedIn profile to the job that you are applying for or looking for. Now, for someone that is coming for, like the previous question, the person who asked the previous question said, someone who is coming from a customer service representative role or a HR, how do you tailor those job titles? Is it okay for you to how do I put it? because different organizations have customer service representative can mean different things in different organizations. So how do you tailor that to, is it okay for you to tailor it to like customer analyst or business analyst while still listing specific roles that you played in those organizations? So that's the question I wanted to ask. Thank you.
Now, thank you for saying that about targeting your resume. So don't target your LinkedIn profile, target your resume, you know, because different jobs have different requirements. So you don't want to start changing your LinkedIn profile for every single job. If you go to my LinkedIn profile, you barely find well, maybe for current roles. But in my past experience, I did a lot of business analysis activity, but I never used the name business analyst, never. But if you look at the task underneath, if you look at all the tasks I performed for those roles, you will see that they are business analysts. I went for an interview some many years back, and they offered me a particular salary, and I got the job. I was told that I was the candidate that was picked. And I went for they gave me an offer letter to sign. I refused to sign it. And I went to the HR. They said, why am I not? I was like, well, I feel that based on my skill and experience, this remuneration would not work for me. So they wanted me to meet their HR director, and I met him, and he asked me to explain. I gave him my experience, my this, and he looked at my resume. He said, but I see your resume, but there's no business analysis title anywhere. I said, business analysis is a mindset. It's not a title. So if you look at the task under my job roles, and I started giving him all the tasks. After a while, he was like, you know what? I believe you. Just go home and, you know, we'll call you later. You know, I thought I'd lost the job. They called me back 2 or 3 days later, and they told me that, you know what? We're going to add $30,000 to what we actually gave you the first time. You know why? Because I did not have business analysis title. So target your resume to the job, clean up your LinkedIn, let it be proper, use the business analysis task, and I think you'll be good to go. Oge, I have to hand over to you. I hope you understand that.
Yeah, I do. Okay, Jeeves, can you go ahead with I see lots of questions here. Somebody saying, is it mandatory to do the ECBA before the CBAB? No. So for each of these exams, we're not talking about the exams. We can, maybe if the time permits, before the end of the 4 weeks, we can go through it. So the IIBA has 3 certification levels, and they all have different requirements. They are for different levels of people. For example, CBAB are for senior BAs, people that have experience, because they are requirements, which you will see if you go to the IIBA website. But the ECBA is for someone that is new into a role that just wants to start out, and you can actually start with that, but you don't necessarily, you might decide to wait until you meet the requirement for CBAB to write the CBAB certification. I hope that answers the question.
Okay. Yeah. So another question here, I think Harry has already answered it, but let me just throw it out there. It says, after this training sessions, how can we garnish our resume with these learnings? Is that possible?
Yeah, so that's totally dependent on you. We're not going to help you build your resume. And you know what I'll tell you? It's very simple. So we've told you to do a competency assessment. I told you, as we are teaching you, try to superimpose what you are learning on what you are doing, right? We're going to be teaching you new things. We're just going to be speaking the language of what you are doing another way. So now it's left to you to tie those, to do the connections and be able to say, oh, this thing I'm doing is actually business analysis. Harry recommended you go online to job sites, download business analysis, job descriptions or job postings, and begin to see the skills and the tasks that are listed there, and begin to connect what you do with those things. And that would help you begin to build your resume. Right? When you train with us, we do have a resume. There's a resume section where we help you build your resume based on what we've also taught you during the 12 weeks, because you'll be doing projects. In the course of that project, there'll be some very technical things you may not have done in your normal day-to-day job. We will help you do. We'll also provide some unpaid internship, because like I said, we are a consulting firm. We do have opportunity to consult for company, and we invite some of our students that do have the time to join those projects and gain more hands-on experience. So next week, We'll be all, please, I'm not going to answer any questions around our training offering. That's not our agenda for today. This is a minute past 2 o'clock in Halifax. So we've spent 2 hours already here. Next week, we'll be delving into deep detail on how our 12 weeks program works, and for people that want to sign up. And we'll have some of our former students coming to also share their experiences and how practical training has helped them. So let's put in the parking lot every question around our 12 weeks training and try and get the best out of the free training, because that is actually the objective, right? So, Gibbs,
yes.
Another question that is more specific, not about...
Another one that I found here that we've already kind of mentioned during the training is there another way to put the elicitation of stakeholders' needs? Is there another, yeah.
Okay, we've not done stakeholder elicitation. That is a topic we'll cover in the course of the 4 weeks training. Can we put it in the parking lot? Please, whoever asked that question, hold on to your question. Hopefully by the end of that presentation, you wouldn't even need to ask the question. Thank you, Ishrat Bati. Thank you so much.
Yes, I think all the other questions are related to our offerings. So that will be like next session. So I think we are good here.
Asking the difference between business analysis and project management. Yes, so project management, it's if you know the definition of project management, it's more about coordinating activities to achieve an end goal. That is project management. So there's usually a goal you are trying to achieve. There's an objective you are trying to achieve before you commission a project. And a project is usually a temporary endeavor or something that has a start and end date, right? That is project management. And in the space of project management, you do practice business analysis. Project managers are business analysis professional. When I use the term business analysis professional, basically anybody that practices business analysis is a business analysis professional. So PMs are business analysis professional. They do practice PM. My current job role is BA PM. So I do PM on some project and I do BA on some project. Because for you to help organization meet a need, achieve a goal, you need to even understand the problem they are solving, right? To help them navigate to the end point. So you practice business analysis within the space of project management. However, for business analysis, you cut across, you go even beyond project management. And we will see that in our subsequent class. I showed us a framework within the organization, a slide where we have, where we practice business analysis across organization. We have most organizations do have what you call the project management office. So that is the team that takes care of projects. You can have a BA working within that team. You can also have the BA working with operations, working with sales, working with HR. So the business analysis, the practice of business analysis can cut across the organization. But the practice of project management is just within a space. Chukudima Daniel, I hope I answered your question. So the 4 weeks program will be strictly Saturdays. Yes, strictly Saturdays. So before we go, let me share my screen. We made mention that you stand a chance to win some freebies ranging from our free, the Scrum certification. 1 minute, let me just quickly open that slide. But there are terms and conditions, right? So let's quickly see what the terms and conditions are. So please, James, let me know when I'm sharing.
Yes, I can. Okay. It's coming up. Yes.
Okay, good. So
it's not a sharing mode. Okay. Slide mode.
Yeah. So for you to stand a chance to win our either 100% scholarship to attend our 12 weeks training, yes, we can be generous because we want to help. We want to help people as much as possible. We want to upgrade your earnings. We want to improve your potentials. You can also win 5 lucky winners every week. So the scholarship is not weekly, but every week you stand a chance to get to win the Scrum Fundamental certification. So we'll provide you access to do a self-paced learning and get the certification, and you can show it on LinkedIn, right? So that recruiters and hiring manager knows, oh, this person has actually taken time to learn this and they are certified. And this is valued at 200 USD. So however, for you to qualify for any of these, you must be registered for this training. We actually put out a Google form to get people to register for this so that we can notify them weekly. If we change platform, which we suspect we'll do next week, we'll be using Microsoft Teams. So we need your data to be able to keep you informed. Then you will have to stay to the end of the training every day. You need to follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Jeeves, you can post those links for the social media. We share our posts. Some of you, you've learned a whole lot of things here today. Can you go to the social media where we posted this training and put in comments? What have you learned? What did you take out of this? Has this opened your mind? Have you done business analysis training and you were still confused? But coming out of this training, your mind has been, like you have a new revelation. Some things have dawned on you. We share our posts, like our posts, talk about your experience on the training. And by when we come next week, we're going to be telling you the successful people that won, and then you can claim your prizes. We need your email address, which we'll capture from the Google form to be able to do that. This replay will be available on our YouTube channel. So if we also have you registered, you'll be getting it via email. That will be all. I think, Jibola, do you have the links posted?
I'm posting that now. Okay, Telegram. It's the only Telegram that, okay, let me get that.
Yeah, don't worry, I can help do that. Let me stop sharing. So yeah, if you can, so 1 minute here, let me post the link so you can follow, share.
You need to put the Instagram and the rest.
Yeah. Everyone. So any other question you think we've not addressed? We'll send you a link. We'll send you a link to collate questions, right? We'll put out a link that can help us capture questions so that if we don't address it during the course of the training, we'll definitely respond to it. So we'll be this is, we're at 9 minutes past time. We apologize for taking you beyond time. So come hungry, come ready. I hope you've learned some things today, really, because first we needed to open your mind to the possibilities, open your mind to where you are, so that you can move from where you are to the next step. So next week, we'll do a deeper dive. Harry wanted to start that today, but because of time, we had to take lots of questions. Because of time, we couldn't do that. So stay tuned, look out for communications via email. You'll be getting the replay, the links to the replay as soon as possible. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thanks, Jibola.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. See you next week.
Yeah, take care, everyone. Enjoy your week.